probably going to go to you since you know exactly what you're looking for. Alright, so let's not make me a ghost. Whoop, got another one coming.
I can find a ghost right here.
I know, right? I find them, I don't make them. So everybody sees me in that camera, correct? Except for my little notification to go to work. So I should be orange, red, and yellow. That means I'm the hottest thing in the camera. Look at me go. But everything around me is black and blue because that's the way it's set up. Black, cold, white, hot. So what does that mean? We are actually looking for those black and blue spots to start moving on their own and become intelligent entities going across somebody's face or an orange area. Later on, when it's not so noisy, I will show... Glenn, did I get it right? Doug. Damn it. I'll get it. So I will show you a video later on, and probably the whole group once it's a little quieter. Basically what I found a few weeks ago, but you're going to hold this thing horizontal all night long. You're going to be my cameraman. We will hear your entire conversation.
So I'm cussing a lot.
Yes. So I will have to put a not for kids on my YouTube video. So
maybe we want to let him do it.
Also, the red square that you see on there, that means it's recording.
Right.
So if you tap it by accident and it turns to a circle and become the jerk because it takes me way longer to splice video rather than to just upload it, you have to let me know so I know to splice 2 videos together. Fair enough. So again, I've had people not tell me, and then I have 15 videos to splice in the morning.
If he hits the record button,
if he accidentally hits it to turn it off,
this is what I need
we have to turn it back on again, and then I got to put the 2 videos together so you guys only have one 90-minute video.
Okay.
So I don't like to splice together 20 10-minute videos. Does that make sense?
And these are iPhones, right?
No, that's actually an Android.
Okay.
And that is actually a FLIR attachment that's meant for electricians and mechanics. So I went with the real deal on that one. There are apps, but they don't really do much. So I went with the real deal on this guy.
Because he hates iPhones.
Yeah, I do too. Nothing, no, I don't do anything. So we're going to be using several spirit boxes tonight. Spirit boxes are an interesting tool. So, anybody, do we have ghost hunting show fans here? Alright, so most of it's crap. You should know that first off. We're doing the real deal. So we're going to use a lot of the same tools. We're going to use them differently. This isn't a provoking, finding angry ghosts all night. That's not what we do here. Spirit boxes allow us to communicate with the dead in different certain kind of messages. So the messages that come through, like you'll hear on the TV shows, the loud static, and then they give you a phrase of what they think they want you to hear. Yeah. We're not doing that because we're doing it in real time. So basically, I have this set a little slower so that way the radio chatter does come through. The radio chatter could mean something, and often does. I would tell you it's a 50-50 chance that something that you're going to hear is going to mean something. So everything you hear, you have to let us know. This one does not record, so I'm going to put 2 of you on this. So that way you guys can verify each other. Does that make sense? If I give it to just one person, we have to take her word for it. But if we have 2 people, and I'm nearby with the audio, then we actually capture something. So this one is already set to a certain speed. There's one button you need to worry about. It's the on-off button, which is on here on the side. I'm sorry, 2 buttons. And then the volume is a toggle switch. So you just keep tapping until it gets up to a normal volume. So when I'm talking, obviously you just turn the speaker off. You hold it like this, so it's only buffer that's holding it on. There's a button, this is a new speaker. So again, just on and off, and it's already set to speaker. So I'm gonna go through another one. So I use another spirit box, and this one is actually set up to record the entire session. So you guys are going to get this entire recording back, which is super cool. So if you guys miss something, it's going to go to the 2 of you. It's okay, because it's going to record everything at a nice even level and no outside noise. So it's only going to record the radio sweep, which I love this guy. So when I'm on my own investigations, I literally put it on mute, slide it in my pocket, and I listen to it later. So that way nobody knows I'm actually doing an investigation in the lovely museums that we have here in Charleston, or wherever else I decide to go. So again, it's set up a little bit slower. You can see the radio station sweeping through. So whatever you hear, kind of keep note of it. And you only have 1 button as well. I have this set up super easy. There's a little wheel right here. You're just going to turn it up and down. You control the volume.
Okay.
There you are. It's already set recording.
Okay.
Alright, so EMF meters. You'll see these on your TV shows as well. This is a smaller group than 10. Some of you might be double-fisted. We'll see how this goes. So EMF meters, say double-fisted, I think it drinks, right? It's not cups. So Actually, she should be double-fisted because you got two cups in one, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to pass a garbage can, no worries. There's a couple of them. But anyway, they show these on your TV shows, but they never explain how they actually work. It actually measures electromagnetic fields, 3 different types. So the first one's natural, comes from the earth, that's why it's not doing anything. The next one is from our electronic items, so wiring, cell phones, anything strong enough, perking meters to touch this thing and make it go into a pulse. We don't want that either. We want it to go a little erratic. We want it to go nuts. So, in order to get Paul to speak up a little bit, he's going to have to tell us when this thing goes off. It doesn't make any noise, it doesn't vibrate. You have to tell us. You're kind of the first indication that something is actually happening. We'll try to debunk it first to see if there's any wire or anything nearby, and there'll be certain places we're going to walk on East Bay Street that is parking meters. It's going to make it go off. So I'm going to tell them ahead of time. Don't get excited. So, we have that. What else have I got in the magic bag? Oh wait, I got all kinds of gizmos and gadgets.
Who are you gonna call?
We're listening, sorry.
What's that?
We're listening.
That's okay, I was getting stuff ready. Actually, why don't you set your cup down here? I'll throw it away for you along the way because I'm going to need you to have 2 hands free.
Can we give it to someone else?
You can.
What is it,
I want to
Dad?
enjoy
What
everything.
is it? What is it?
No, no.
Whatever he
Talk
has,
about that.
Okay.
Is that okay?
So Glenn, you're going to be the guy. We got the temperature team here because now I have to debunk what's going on. Doug, right? I got it. Yes. So Doug says, "Hey Nick, I see a blue spot on the wall. I don't know what it is. It's swirling around. Everything else around it is orange and blue." First thing I'm going to do, we should all know what this guy is, right? Surface temperature. I'm going to test the whole wall all the way across, make sure it's the same temperature. If it is, I now know that it's between Doug and the wall. That's where this guy comes into play. This has a probe at the end of it that measures ambient temperature. It's the bottom number, not the top. The top is humidity. So I'm literally going to move this between Doug and the wall and try to find where that cold spot is. Does that make sense to everybody? I don't want any false positives, so you're double-fisted. Happy you. Plus you get the help of the spirit box. Look at you, man. You're all over the place.
He's good. He's double-fisted at work all the time. You use that at work,
Well,
babe?
ours has this and that combined.
Okay, see,
Yeah, you guys are going to be working together. I usually set this up for teams.
No, at the fire department, no tick
They're
has,
brothers, they're
it does both.
Oh, fair
Gives
enough.
temperature
So
and,
did I pick the right team?
yes.
All right. Neuralizer for Men in Black. I need you all to stare right there.
Okay.
Aha, somebody got my joke.
I know. God, if you could just do that for me every day.
It's actually a grid pen. Pretty dots. Might have to change the batteries. Looks like it's fading a little bit. So what does this actually help us do? Obviously, you can't see the laser shooting down to the ground until something passes through it. So this is going to help us see things that we can't see with the naked eye. I've caught many little blips with this guy. It's going to be super quick. Alyssa, lasers can get Nick arrested. This has to stay pointed down at all times, only in safe areas. So,
We're kind of living on the edge.
I know, right?
How does this work again? I twist the button.
No, there's a
Oh,
button.
the button.
That's it. And you have to hold it. So we may have to switch the batteries once we get to our first location. So I do have another laser, but everybody seems to have a kind of gadget except for birthday girl. She doesn't want to be involved. So if
I
you-
do. I want to be able to see too.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll spot someone.
Do you want to take some pictures for us?
Sure.
If I give you a camera, is that cool?
Sure.
Okay.
How are you at taking pictures? Are you good at taking pictures?
Me?
Yeah.
I can take pictures.
You
I
sure?
don't mind.
You can do the laser?
That's a lot easier, so I don't have to take my eyes. Is that okay?
Yeah, whatever you want
Switch
to
with
do.
the
sure?
laser?
I'll switch with you.
Do you
Mind
want me to
taking pictures?
re-sanitize the device?
No. No.
Just take it.
I like
All right. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. I don't give this to teenagers because they don't know what it is. A digital camera. So they're not used to that.
An actual camera.
An actual camera. So
Like with film or digital?
it's digital.
So it's not that.
So it doesn't have a flash on it. The reason for that, again, I don't want false positives. So if Alyssa takes a picture of a building and I get a flash coming back, again, my wife is the one who gets the pictures if I see something odd. So if I send her stuff with a bunch of flashy stuff, she's like, it's from the camera. Take the damn flash off of it. So again, because it has no flash, you have to be very still when taking pictures. Try to always take 2 of the same thing. That way we have something to compare by. So if they do capture something, I can look at the next picture that was taken within the same minute and say it's now not there, or that it moved, or whatever it is that we
And if
captured.
you feel overwhelmed, I love taking pictures and I'll show you.
Okay.
Well, I try to keep the spirit boxes in different groups. So that way you guys aren't crossing the streams.
We're
Okay.
taking over already.
Oh, Ghostbusters.
We're really living on the edge here. All right, so we did not talk about COVID. I asked you all to bring masks. I do have one. If I have to get close to you guys with my devices, I'm not one of, I'm not super worried for myself about COVID. I do have epilepsy, so it does kind of hinder with me wearing it for long periods of time. I got a haircut today, and I had to get up out of the chair because I was gagging and almost puked. So it's that bad for me. So again, about 5-10 minutes is about all I can do. So if I have to get close to you, don't expect it to be long. Obviously, all of your devices have been sanitized. I think I already said that. And then I do have extra masks in case somebody's rubber band breaks or something like that. Like you have a medical mask, I do have extras. So I do drive Uber when tours are slow, which hasn't been for quite a while. So good for me. But I do have extra masks as Uber sent them over as well. And I do have hand sanitizer in case anybody wants to play in the mud. So I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully not. Nobody's playing in the mud. But I'm going to use a few things myself, and I will show you how my devices work. So they're on my phone. Cool thing is at the top of your data page, I have a list of all of the devices you guys are using, plus the apps that I'm going to be using as well. I do have a backup EMF in case Paul's battery drains. It has happened. I do have extra batteries, but if I need something in a pinch, I have one. The second thing I'm going to use is a spirit box that actually puts words in the center of the screen from time to time. It is going to save all of them into a list. My last store has 64 entries. I'm going to clear them out because they already have theirs. 80% of this app is crap. It's BS. It doesn't mean a damn thing. It's the other 15% that I'm actually going to give you verifiable links to show you where I got my information from. For example, I was talking about Pugin's Porch on that last tour. The word porch comes up, and then I get the word growling. What is Pugin's Porch named after? A dog. Does that make sense now? So again, that makes complete sense. The second one I'm going to use is a reverse spirit box. We're going to let you guys pass through. Hi. Can I help you with something? This is a ghost hunting tour. Your ghost walks are probably from Bulldog. You're going to go down there, one block, and make a left. Oh. You're welcome. They're not going to have as much fun as we have. So, this guy actually, and I debunked this one already too, so just kind of like the other one, doesn't have a whole lot of backup to what they claim it to be. They said it was an FM radio station spirit box like yours, and just flipping it backwards, so it sounds really creepy. However, when I put it in my software, because I analyze EVPs all the time, I flipped it back forwards again, and it's literally just a man and a woman saying random words. I looped it for over an hour and did not hear the same word twice, so I have no idea how long the loop is. However, when something comes through in forward motion, we can obviously hear what it is, especially if it's an intelligent answer to one of the questions that I will be asking. So I will go ahead and play this for you guys, so you guys get the gist of what it sounds like. It sounds like complete gibberish.
Okay. Sounds like it's backwards.
It is. That's all it is. So,
Paul is dead.
an old Led Zeppelin record, right? So,
Or Beatles.
a few weeks ago, or the Beatles, take that weight album, right? Ooh, show my age.
Said Paul is dead.
Shut up. So a few weeks ago, I was actually talking about a woman from England, and I caught this EVP from the reverse spirit box. So let me find it real quick. I'll play it for all of you so you guys can hear it. The traffic slows down. That's me. You guys catch that? So here's what happened. The reverse spirit, or your spirit box said, "I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast," and then the word list gave me the word tea. I'll fix you, baked beans breakfast, and tea. All of that came together within about 2.5 minutes of each other when I reviewed it the next morning. I had no idea what it meant. One of my guests texted me back and said, "That's actually a breakfast over in the UK." I was talking about a woman from England. So you see how I have to look at this as a collective in the morning, because sometimes we don't always see everything in real time. That's why I like to record everything. So, love that EVP. It's the strongest one I've ever gotten, especially out of that app. Yeah. Wow. So it's pretty crazy. So we start here for a reason. You guys tired of learning stuff about your devices? We're going to talk about ghost stories, because that's why you guys came. So This place used to be called Big John's. How long have you guys lived here?
I remember being
You
Big
guys
John's.
from here?
Yeah. It was a bar, right?
Close.
Yeah. So Big John's Tavern. Big John was a football player, 1947, New York Giants. He used to sit in the back of the bar and he used to tell the bartender whether the cadets that came over from the Citadel were of age or not. One night, two guys came in. John cut them off because they weren't of age, and they get angry and leave. Come back the next night. They try to steal the cash register. Big John saw everything. Big John jumps in. They start wrestling around. A few shots were fired. John gets shot in the neck. Sits back at the bar as the guys are getting arrested. But that bullet ricocheted from his neck into the wall. It's not any ghost that actually haunts the place. It's the bullet hole, because it's still here. Well, I don't know what they're doing with the reconstruction, but the last bar owner, he actually left it here. So it is said that people that sit in the front of this place can sometimes feel ill. Headaches, queasiness, upset stomach, those kind of things. I bring this up on purpose because I don't know how paranormal activity is going to affect any of you. So I have had people drop, I've had people pass out on a nice cool night like this. You never know. If somebody's not feeling well, I need to know so we can move you to a safer place, maybe get you a bottle of water, do whatever we have to do. I don't say that to scare you because this is technically not a scary tour. I say it as an actual health precaution. It's a big deal. I've had CPR classes because of that. So, don't want anybody else passing out on my tour. Not that it hasn't happened after that, but I've always had a nurse on board to help me out. So, big earthquake here is another story from this place. The mantle above your heads actually wraps around the front of the building as well. The piece of that broke off during our big earthquake of 1886. It's a big one because it's the only one we've ever had as far as anything on a Richter scale. And it's Charleston. We don't get earthquakes. So, but apparently that piece fell off, struck somebody in the head, and killed him. And it was allegedly the first death that occurred from the earthquake. I can't find any evidence of it. I'm taking the word from a historian that I work with, and the previous bar owner, his name was Paul from Paint Rum Bar. He actually used to see dark things out here on East Bay Street after closing. So take that for what it's worth. You guys ready to go do something?
Sure.
You guys tired of hearing me talk? I was going to say, I hope not, because we got at least another hour. All right, let's roll this way.
Tired of hearing me talk? Too bad.
I know, right?
You're in for a long night. Shortcut.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely... I keep an eye on lasers, for sure.
On what? Oh, the laser?
Yeah, there's a button on the face, the bottom left. Right down here, bottom left. Yeah, so that one's not super active.
Okay, so just leave it.
Is it dead?
Well, it's still reading, but
If it's reading, then
Well, he should have a backlight. No, we'll get your battery changed. So let me tell you guys what's going on here, and I do want to change the batteries and your laser as well. So the two of you will hang out after class, and we'll get you guys fixed up. So that thing lasted forever. That battery lasted over a year.
Class.
So
And it's
guys,
dead.
we are in what I call the Big Red Barn lot. So it is haunted, but there's not a whole big history here. So this is a place where I get to bounce around with all of you and kind of give you a little bit more tactics about the devices you have. So we're going to kind of go through the motions real quick. He's already doing everything with the thermal imaging, so I'm going to jump right into spirit boxes. Your TV shows go right into who killed who, and blah, blah, blah. We're not doing that. So we're going to start off with things simple, things that you already know. What color is the ball? Okay, now you know you're listening for the color red. You're going to listen to your spirit boxes for about 30 seconds at a time. After you ask your question, if you don't get an answer of the answer you already know, then obviously you're going to ask the question again. These spirits need time and energy to muster up the answers they need to give us. So that's what we're after. If you don't get an answer after maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 tries at best, move on to something else. And they're not in the box. You don't need to speak into the box. So it's all about getting the correct answers and giving them time to muster up. So you might ask her, what color is the barn? And we get an answer of red 10 minutes later.
Red one.
Behind you.
Okay.
That's where we keep the horses for the carriage rides.
Okay, different red one. Okay.
So, this is also the same red barn where they kept the horses that delivered milk to Charleston. So, when we ask what's inside the barn, you might hear the words like draft, because they're draft horses, or the word delivery, milk, animal. You might hear anything related to what's inside that barn. You could hear the word office, because there's an office right there. But again, we're going after anything wrapped around a horse. Last night we got the word apple. Makes complete sense. What's inside the barn? Apple is the answer we got. So it made complete sense. I'll often refer back to other tours because obviously I know all of these locations pretty well, but I still learn stuff every single day. So your spirit boxes are going to be at an audible level because we don't want to spook the horses, which anybody with a laser, definitely nothing goes on that barn. So thermal included. Where's the other thermal? Who's got that? So yeah, no red dots. We will spook them, they will kick, and it will scare the shit out of all of us. Pardon the language. But that's exactly what they'll do because they're loud. As far as cameras go, you're going to be taking pictures through the laser once I get through things going on. The rule of thumb with the camera is none of y'all can be in the picture. None of you sign waivers. I don't do legal stuff. I am a writer, but I hate reading legal and writing it. So we're going to stay away from that. If somebody ends up in a picture where we actually have something, an orb or mist or anything, I will just cut that person out. So accidents are okay. I will fix them. Pictures of cars are also a big no. So try to keep cars and people out. I'm fine. I'm in the media all the time. Obviously, you guys recognize me by my green tie, so it's okay if I end up in a picture. What else do we have? An EMF? Do we have anything going on there yet, Paul?
Nothing. Just
Still being blank?
well, the one beside is lighting up.
Well, that's good. That just means it's on. So if you start getting any other kind of blips, like you two should be kind of keeping an eye on that, so you know where the hot spot is of wherever. Like last night, that thing was blowing up like a Christmas tree over here. It was hitting the red.
Did Big John get killed on that?
No.
He lived on, right?
Oh
for
yeah.
another-
I think he
into
lived
the
on-
60s and
I
70s?
want to say he was like 84 when he passed away.
Yeah, there was a guy down the street from me that was Big John. Everybody knew him.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a lot of dogs. Yeah, but
He's buried here somewhere.
I was kind of curious. He might be the same one.
Well, we do get, even with, like I'm asking you guys about the barn and whatnot, on your spirit boxes, you might get teammates from Big John. It happens all the time.
Okay.
One night I actually had the word, and I can't make this stuff up. I had Tom, and I'm not a football guy, so I had to look it up. Tom came up twice, and then I had the word coach, and then cowboy. It was Tom Landry. He used to play with John Kennedy in 1948. So it's kind of like, wow, that's a major connection. And again, I recognize the name. I just think it's not football. So at any rate, lasers again, we're going to be kept pointed straight down. We're going to get some pictures of the lasers for sure. What else do we have going on? So the temperature team, nice slow sweeps around here. And you're going to, obviously, I mean, you guys already know about thermal imaging based on your positions, but I bring people here on purpose because we have metal, we have asphalt, wood, brick, foliage. They learn a lot about thermodynamics. So also, I'll work with you guys a little bit more on some of the things that I've caught in the past, but I'm going to send you guys off so that actually the two of you can start finding where that EMF hotspot is. So Paul, you got to really speak up when it's going crazy. But you guys are going to kind of walk around and find where that hotspot is. So if you get anything in the orange and you can't make out what it is, or if it even goes into the red, that's obviously when you want to start your questions. As far as you go with your questions, you can kind of pay attention where they're at, but you want to stay away from each other. So I don't want you guys listening in on each other's spirit boxes because then you get confused on what you're actually listening to. So, but yeah, I want to change batteries for you and for this guy. So, but if the two of you, because this isn't super active anyway, if you guys want to start your...
You notice it's got a temperature on it too, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But we're going to verify that.
Okay.
So the reason for that, and I'm going to work with you guys specifically on that, is because what I do to test people out is I have, like, let's go ahead and point your camera at the wall and get me a temperature and shoot your red dot on that wall for me. I want to point something out.
I got 72 point, jumping, 72.1 to 6.
Okay, what do you have?
68.9.
Okay, so you're off about 3 to 4 degrees.
Yeah.
So if your temperature on the camera drops below his, obviously we have something going on because your surface temperature only. That's when this guy starts to come into play. There's a screw in there. This is just a slide. Yeah. But there was a screw at the top.
Something used for tires, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Let
I
me
did
turn
with
your
the
spirit
go-karts,
box up a
yeah.
little bit and start listening.
Race cars.
Okay. Well,
And we're just standing there
I'm
changing
just
some
thinking
batteries
about
out.
Big John. He pulled his dogs off and he knew I was.
It'd be interesting if there's any kind of connection that comes through.
What am I listening for?
You are listening for any phrase that you can make out.
I can hear a lot of stuff. It sounds like the
But
radio.
you have to be able to, you want the radio. I want you to treat that thing as if they're using the radio voices to tell you a
The
message.
CB radio.
Oh, okay.
I know I'm telling
Break,
my
19, break.
Smoking report.
You listen to CB, right?
Huh?
You listened to CB radios, didn't you?
Way back in the day.
No, I didn't actually.
You never talked on CB radio?
No, I didn't.
Not
do
back in the
CB
day?
radio, no.
Wow.
I mean, I'm being honest. We had a guy live
Back in the 70s?
neighborhood. The guy lived over this point.
Yeah,
Had
everybody
one.
did.
My dad didn't do that.
It's like everybody and his brother had a damn
I
TV
mean, it's not
radio.
crap. He just didn't do it. Yeah.
My wife, like I said, works at Best Buy. I have batteries in bulk at home. I just refresh the pack every week.
Okay.
That's where Eddie
Hey, if Big John,
Allen said he, when I retired, so we can go both work there.
Where, Best Buy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Those are pretty good benefits.
dogs off.
That's where I get my
Yeah,
benefits
probably
from.
navigate. That's probably good.
That's why she still works there.
That's why you get
Much
free.
brighter.
Yeah.
That's why you get free eye exams.
Okay, so again, cars are a little sensitive to
We'll get
lasers,
out sometime,
so we want to be
you know.
careful with car alarms. I have
Looking
set
at
off
the
a few of my
Father
day.
Kelly's
It's never a good time
That'll
for us
set
to
off
run.
car alarm?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's bright enough.
Next year.
That thing, if we were to shoot that across over to Market Street, we could see it clear as day. That's how bright it is.
Okay.
So again, we want to be keeping it out of jail.
Yeah.
Better keep it pointed down, or how about, is it okay to point it at like a brick wall or something like that?
Even that far, it kind of like if a cop drives by, he's
Really?
going to stop and ask me what's going on.
Wow.
It's happened before.
Martian won't
Just
fly.
So down.
Down and out, maybe 5 feet in front of you only.
Right.
So I want to get you guys. That's even too far. So go ahead and point. Go ahead and turn
Oh,
it on.
good.
Go.
Yeah, I'm
How about
on.
here?
Perfect, right there. That's as far as I want you to go.
Okay. Follow
The only
me,
thing I
got it.
saw was something like that. We did a ghost tour on the Yorktown, and the guy had a video of where the room looked
Yeah,
like that,
you
and
could
you could
see
see
somebody
something
walking
moving
by.
in the.
Yeah, that was. Wow, we got all kinds of stuff on that tour. It's interesting.
The dots were moving.
Yep, just walk and listen. Ask your questions. Ask whatever you want to hear. Stay away from yes and no questions.
I still have questions about Big John.
So ask him directly.
Ask them.
Big John. Well, I was already talking to him. I'm like, I'm the one, that little girl that, I was going to Bobby Kelly's house with next to you, and you told me I was off of it.
Maybe you can try to get the dog's name. Do you remember the dog's name?
No. I was like six years old.
Ask. Maybe he'll tell you. Oh,
Who's
they're
that
picking.
big black and brown German shepherd you had?
Let me out of this house.
Oh, what's that dog? I don't know.
No, it's okay.
Down. So that way
One second.
that's why I have exactly. No other being like force these spots too.
Hey, problem is I gotta have my glasses on to see what the temp is on me. I have to see something. Well, it's hard for me to see this close. I can see far away without them, but that was Big John over there. He said, like, if I see something cold roaming across the hot area.
Lasering anything. I don't see anything.
Wire over there, obviously not close enough. Go ahead and now check all the green spots. Come back over to the green spot. I want to finish doing a demonstration.
Getting restless.
I can hear people. I hear people out there. No, that's what he's horse is saying. I hear people. I'm not used to looking for cold areas. I'm used to looking for hot spots. No, nothing.
I thought we were doing a cemetery.
It's so cold right there.
Ask your questions, get used to how to listen to it, and in the morning I'll give you markers based on their recording. So it'll be like probably 5 to 10 of them, especially if it's a good night. And that way you'll lose it.
Well, this tells me how much I believe in this. Right. So prove me wrong. I don't believe in ghosts. I ain't got a mask on. Where's the thing?
Just a little wheel next to the button.
Is that it?
That's, no, that'll shut it off.
Click
That's it?
off.
That's it right there.
Ah!
Okay. Perfect, right there. So now you can actually hear the messages that are going to come through. I know it's hard to listen.
I'm just hearing radio gibberish.
Do it to your radio gibberish. That's what I want you to do.
You'll really?
Yes.
It's not good to me. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this. So talk to me. Oh God, this is like a bad radio station, like being in a car traveling.
I'm listening to it every morning, trying to find the right message.
Oh, and you give it to me? Oh,
Oh, give it to you later.
yeah. Thank you. Oh. All right. So this
Straight down. Straight down. Straight down.
Like you're trying to find a
There
station.
you go. Go ahead and turn it off for a second. So what you're looking for here.
Good morning. Hey,
Really
really?
quickly.
sure. Yep.
Literally gonna come through real
This
quick.
goes right through.
Young lady starts taking pictures of you. That's why. Because you have the
Is it actually picking up right now?
through the laser.
Thank you, Dan.
Let's go to a question. What do you think? I was trying to convince her that this was a legitimate tool, but she wasn't buying it.
Not really, no.
Basically, they're already listening to it, so let's just find out what's inside the barn. Somebody here, tell us what's going on inside the barn. What's in there?
That's what I asked earlier. I asked, is anybody hanging out at the barn?
This is where we listen.
So you got the best. You got the best. You suck.
I see this all the time. I'm used to looking at the red areas, not the cold areas. Right. I'm looking for a hot spot in the wall, the ceiling. You can see the laser in front of her.
Oh, on the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Exciting.
clean around here? Anything exciting happened around here?
Another question. You gotta find a way to reword them. You'll be okay. All right, everybody kind of got the gist of how all your devices work.
I already knew how mine worked.
Big John, you're here?
What do you guys say? Another yes or no question.
I thank you. I just said yes and no before you did.
Let's go learn some history, guys. Let's go up this way. Weird as I got from Amelia, it's spelled the exact same way on my.
They're waiting for him.
Let's see if I see like an extra person. Let's see if I see like an extra person for it. Yeah. Hey.
If you're walking among us, can you give me your name?
Cut those spirit boxes down so I can tell you what's going on in here.
All right.
Did we show you how to use the volume? We did not.
Yeah, it's the one.
There you go. You gotta turn it all the way down.
That way?
There you go.
Got it. Perfect. All right. So I know another parking lot. I take you to all the pretty spots, right?
These are great.
This one is super duper interesting for the city of Charleston. This is home of the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion site. So if you're natives, you probably know this lot is Molly Darcy's. So, have you guys ever been to Molly Darcy's? You guys been here that long? No?
Been here forever, but not.
Not my can.
Just saying. That's
Yeah.
what it was before. So Eliza and Charles actually had a son named Charles and a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Charleses. The son and the nephew signed us our Constitution. Pretty big deal for Charleston, but I hate politics and it's 2020. We're going to move on to Eliza. I don't want to talk politics.
Yeah.
So, Eliza married Charles at a young age. There was a big age difference between them because she wanted to stay here in the United States. She's from England. This is where the baked beans breakfast, EBP, came from. So, Dad was sick over in England. He wanted all of his kids home. She didn't want to go, so she got married and stayed here. Dad got better. He started sending gifts over from England. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo. Indigo already had a deep history with us with the Gullah culture. So it's been here a long time. However, Eliza's the one that made it proper. It's a pretty big deal. So her garden was actually lined up with that first tree all the way across. The mansion was in the front, and we're standing where the servant quarters would have been. So, with all of that being said, Eliza was also the businesswoman that sold it overseas using Dad's contacts. She pretty much saved Charleston after our rice plantations went downhill. Not to mention what she did for the rest of the colonies. We're talking about 1700s. There's no such thing as a businesswoman. So, again, Eliza's done a lot of things. I'm just giving you the top of the cream of the crop here. There's tons of books written about this woman if you guys are more interested. So a couple weird things about Eliza. She was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. So Eliza actually goes by her maiden name. So on your spirit boxes, you're going to try to find out what that maiden name was if you don't already know. I'm not giving you the answers to these questions, so this way you guys were listening for different things. So it's Eliza blank Pinckney. However, the first wife did the same thing. Eliza blank Pinckney. I'll give you all these answers before we leave here. You can ask what happened to the mansion, what year it was, whatever, what happened to it. You can ask anything you want to about Eliza's death, how old she was, what she died from, where is she buried, all of those things. You can even ask which president was a pallbearer at her funeral, and she will tell you. I'm only giving you questions where I've had answers to several times. Only one daughter out of 4 kids. So if you want to ask what the daughter's name was, that's come up before too. Very clear. That is a 3-syllable word. It is very hard to muster up 3 syllables through those spirit boxes. A lot of times it'll come up on, I just got the word vote. Told them I didn't want to talk about friggin' politics. What are they doing? So while you guys are kind of pestering Eliza, I actually go after Charles. I've been learning more and more about him, the husband, and the son, and because there's a lot that goes on with them. The funny thing is the son, the anniversary of his death was yesterday. So I was expecting a lot of activity, but it came up a few nights ago. Crazy. But something else happened there. It was a Pinckney's treaty that he signed, and it was on the same day. So I got the word treaty. I got something else with Spanish because it was with the Spanish. Like it was a crazy thing. You know, all kinds of evidence that it's place. If I were to have a grand finale, this would be it. However, this is where you guys are going to separate into your teams, walk around your lot. Paul, take notice that the light on the back of the building is blinking. It doesn't always blink, but when it does, a lot of times, I'll say 55% of the time, it is in sync with his EMF meter. So if we actually, don't lose your glasses, man.
Yeah.
If he holds it up like he's going to take a selfie, it actually is within 2 frames. It's almost like the energy is pouring out of here and influencing that light. So again, sometimes that light is just on and I have a dead night. It's almost my barometer of how much activity I'm going to find or not. So take that for what it's worth, but I see it blinking like a strobe light like that. It's probably going to be a lot of activity happening in here. Can't guarantee that, but it is what it is.
Where would that light be?
That light is actually...
In conjunction to the old estate, you know?
Well, the lot on the walls was the old estate. So again, the mansion, they actually had like a carriage house up there in that corner. So their property line was this entire lot.
Right there underneath that light now?
That light is actually across a little parking lot alley.
Really?
But there's a little, like, it's skinny enough for cars to pull in and out of, but it's across the way a little bit.
It's right
I was
there.
just saying that maybe it's
not on this
in a
lot.
position where activity had been happening adjacent to the estates.
And the people from 5 Church Street, like that place is haunted too. They don't even like taking the garbage out behind their building because so much stuff happens back here. So they just get weird feelings and all of that. And again, I don't put my feelings into this. It's all about the devices and what we're going to capture electronically. So if I ever feel the need where I got to move this along because of things coming through, I will move this along. But again, this is where we're going to separate, start asking questions based on some of the history I just told you, see what you can find. I do want to see where the spirit boxes are going to go, just because I kind of want to do my own spirit box session for you guys on the regular audio, because I get a lot here with Charles. So I want to see where your spots are going to be. I can see the EMF is going crazy back here. So again, pick your spot, pick your poison, and we'll see what we find. Nice slow sweeps from you. Your laser as well can make those car alarms go off, so no shooting through the windows of vehicles. I'm trying to think, what else do we have? I think we're covered. Take as many pictures as you want to in here.
This is kind of do a perimeter sweep.
Yeah. What year did Charles or his wife pass?
I'm going to turn it back up. Alrighty.
Get it. Cut you off.
Way back.
Show you that video I caught.
Oh, from this?
Yeah, it's super awesome. And maybe you can help me debunk it because there's only one explanation in my eyes. It was so cool I had to post it. It was awesome. Videos. I always tell people to keep a person in view, so that way you have a point of reference. You're going to see 2 living people walk past the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to fast forward by 10 to 15 seconds, and you're going to see 2 dead people walking the opposite direction.
Yeah. The dark net?
Yep. And again, they did the right thing. I told them to keep a person in view, so that way they have the array of color.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, can you make anything else out of that other than 2 dead people going the opposite way? They should have been the same color as this guy right here.
Yeah. And unless it was catching a little heat coming up from below the wall, that would be the only thing I could think of. Because I could see where cars go by too.
That's why I left the living people in there.
No. I'm saying somebody on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
It may be catching just enough of it to change it. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So that's why, like the video clip, we got the 2 living people.
They come across first.
They come across
with their
first.
heads above the wall, right?
With their heads above a wall, and then the second round, they're dead.
Yeah, it definitely was dark that time.
I mean,
yeah, I agree. But I don't know any other explanation.
I mean, that's probably the best evidence I've caught with that camera. And the reason why they called me up there was because they thought they saw a shadow.
Oh.
So I went up there to go debunk things and that, and then my camera person did the right thing. I was like, just keep it still as you can, keep a person in view.
Right. I got you.
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'll take it.
everybody's moving around so much. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Nick? Party on the movie?
Say again? But you're actually pretty close on the daughters.
What was his daughter's full name?
What the hell is that wall?
Yes. Well, it's misleading because it's only 80-something degrees. And that's the wall, actually.
Well, I just look down there and see if I see a cold spot. Now and then I feel a cool breeze, but
I
it
see
ain't
the
really
areas that are cold. But
Hey, he said you're looking for something like a cool
I'm
spot on the
looking
bed,
for movement, yeah.
and then I'm supposed to try to verify it.
Right. But if I find something like he found, there's no way you can verify because there's somebody walking by. Or
I'd
crap.
have to try to do it at the wall. Well, this I can stick up there.
Yeah, the only way I can get it is if I
That's
just
what
saw
this was for,
if I
trying
just
to do
saw
it
it.
there.
Yeah, if I just see a cold area, yeah. The cars are cold. Pavement's cold. They're too far away for to pick them up individually. Getting any replies? Deb? You getting any replies?
One more time.
Getting any replies to your questions?
I got Jeremiah, Nathan, and 1609.
Okay.
Where'd you hear it?
1609. Jeremiah.
Nathan is correct. Nathan, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the house servants.
I'd ask who was there here possibly.
Oh my God,
property.
you heard that?
Uh-huh. When I was over there, I did.
But Jeremiah, I haven't found a reference to thinking.
Did you hear what Debbie?
Yeah, I was just standing to it.
1609, Nathan and somebody.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. How did you hear that? She heard all that stuff. Nathan,
I don't know exactly.
Jeremiah, all I hear.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. Oh, I got off the room born, but he died.
No answer.
I don't know. But I couldn't really make out. He's still alive in my
What room we standing in right now?
I do that one a lot too. That's a good one. So I wanted, like, they were asking how far back with the house comes. I would guess it's probably right in front of that 1326 sign right there. But they would have had somewhat of a courtyard here, you know, and then, like I said, quarter back here and back. So again, there would have been room for gardening and somewhere for them to enjoy the outdoors. Okay. Still nothing. Okay. You can keep that going up a little bit. Sitting right here, okay, let's bring it down to the hair. You want to be in a little bit of a residential area. But in here, like here.
Where's Carolina Street from here?
So we're going to give you guys couple more minutes.
I'm not sure.
I'd ask you where, give me an address where somebody from this plantation is buried in South Carolina.
Much online, but I have been chatting a lot. So I haven't really been fully listening. I'm not liking the fact that but I'll let you guys kind of tinker around. But I mean, you're getting quite a bit there.
It doesn't know where I'm at.
Oh, right.
Well, I'm at where it's telling me.
Might have, streets might have changed by then. So yeah. See if there's anything kind of gather around or anything.
Remind me.
The hill's out. Oh, that's not tonight. That's tomorrow. I feel like I was going around this block 4 times.
What color indigo is grown?
everybody up and see what we got. Anything weird on your end? At least nothing that you saw, right?
Nothing I saw.
Okay.
I didn't see anything. I
All right, guys, let's head over here. Alyssa, Deb, Deborah, Debbie, wherever you go by.
All the above.
Deb.
Deb.
I thought I heard Deb. All right. Possibly go into what he was talking about with the church and the faith. So, go ahead and turn that down. Wrong way. Perfect. Anything weird on your end? We got your volume control?
No, I turned it off right now.
Okay. No, yeah, keep it off. Anything else from you on your end? Did you hear anything other than we thought we heard the name Nathan? And
Charles 20?
no. At some point in his life he was, but
Well, I
not when
asked how old he was when he got married.
No. So Eliza was 22. He was 45 when they got married. So we thought we had something that said the word church, and we had the word faith come up on my screen. So 2 different spirit boxes, 2 different related words. Charles Pinckney was involved with his church. I'll have to dive into that because I don't know which one and get you guys some evidence of that if I can find it again. We'll kind of take that with a grain of salt for now. The answers to the questions. Anybody hear the word October on your spirit boxes? Nothing? Okay. I was asking constantly when Charles's birthday was, and it's in October. He also died in October. So a lot of times it'll come up twice. So it makes sense. Answers. So daughter's name was Harriet. So who was telling me about an H? Was that you that said something with an H? You asked me what the maiden name was.
Oh, Harvey.
Harvey. So that's why I said you were close. It's H-A-R. So again, you have it on recording. I'll take a listen to it in the morning. Eliza Lucas Pinckney is the one that planted our indigo crops. And Eliza Lamb Pinckney was the first wife of Charles. So Lamb and Lucas, were the answers there. Let's see what else. The house caught fire up in that corner on the 2nd story from the Great Fire of 1861. So it would have been after Eliza and Charles's time. It would have been passed through the family at that point. Let's see what else did I ask you guys. Oh, Eliza died at the age of 70 from breast cancer in Philadelphia. It's also where she's buried. She's not even buried.
Carolyn.
And I still get a lot of things that are related to her that come through. So there was a lot of, and George Washington was the pallbearer. So
I already knew that.
Yeah, so
during the time.
Washington or the name George will pop up, and it finally clicked one day when George came up several times. I'm like, oh, that's why. So now that's a common thing. So Washington is a lot to come up with. It's 3 syllables. So we're going to have to really dive into, I mean, we heard some things, but I'm not fully convinced just yet. I'll have to dive into your spirit box to see what really caught, because we did have a lot of EMF, correct?
Yes.
So we're going to have to really dive in. We'll see what came out of the pictures. Did you take a lot of pictures here?
They did. A little hot.
Okay. You make my job longer in the morning.
7,000.
Makes you a lot. Makes you a lot.
So, and don't get me wrong, the more pictures, the more likely it is that we'll actually capture something. But again, looking at the same pictures of green dots for 250 pictures is never fun, because I have to analyze each one and see if there's anything extra in there. But anyway, I don't care how dark these pictures are, I literally just use a light filter, so I can brighten it up and see a little bit of more shadow, see if anything showed itself, and we just display it, so forth and so on.
What was the year that he married?
The year?
The 45-year-old Charles, around that time? 17 something?
Yeah,
Telling you
it would
her
have been
Carolina,
like
too?
1740
Well, he
something.
said she's married in Philadelphia.
Because the thing about
Right,
this is there's
if either one of them were buried on,
big
where are they?
You said,
registry
you
of
said
churches
servants.
here.
No, that
And
was
my
early. I
family
had asked,
going back was
where is Charles or
I
Eliza
don't know how far.
buried? And I just heard Carolina.
I thought you said you'd asked where any servants were buried nearby, and you said Carolina.
Yeah,
Maybe we
Well, as
asked.
far as related to Charles.
yeah, my family goes, all my family, all my kids. Yeah, that's
I want to say that actually sounds really cool.
You see, I kept hearing 16. I kept hearing 1609.
1609?
yeah, it's an old church.
We're going to walk up East Bay Street about 4 blocks. We're going to be passing some people eating outside. It's definitely a masked up area. EMF's going to go nuts. Don't pay any mind to it at all. It's the parking meters. Obviously, keep filming for us. Spirit boxes, if you're going to listen to them along the way, we're listening for names. I'll explain when we get there. But we're going to go up to Lodge Alley, which is just before Magnolia's restaurant. So if anybody gets too far behind, just make a right when you see the Magnolia's sign. You can't miss the clay bricks on the ground. But I do try and walk briskly so that way there's not too much lull time in your tour while we're going stuff. Again, lasers are a no-go on East Bay Street, so those of you with lasers, restrain yourselves. Yeah, I know, right? But we're living on the edge. So let's go check out Lodge Alley. I'll tell you guys what's going on up there.
I knew you were going to give me a nickname. Watch your step, everybody.
Up 1, down 3.
Here's the step, everybody.
Where'd you go?
Wait till tomorrow. It's nothing close to it's here.
I had fun watching this, bouncing around and me walking.
We're going to make a quick pit stop in case anybody else needs to go.
Say what?
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Oh, restroom?
Are you
Yep.
going?
No, I'm going.
You didn't know I was going to be putting you to work, did you? So the funny thing is this is actually how I'm going to get into my PhD program.
Oh, really?
So all of the data you guys are collecting obviously stays on my website.
Right.
And it's a PhD in creativity where they allow you to pick your dissertation.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose the paranormal, granted, if they accept it.
Right.
And then I'll have all of this evidence to be writing a book on every single location and every single device you guys are using. So I'm working on getting additional things that are a little bit more complicated for this type of field. But if they accept it and I graduate properly, I'll probably have 6 or 7 nonfiction books by the time I'm done, and I'll be a doctor of ghosts.
There you go.
So
Doctor.
tickets will definitely go up in price because I'll have a doctorate to pay for it. So, but yeah, I'm almost finished with my master's now. I have 3 more classes and I'm done. So hopefully April, May, I'll be finally finished with that.
Oh, your master's in?
Creative writing. I have 2 bachelors, one in English, one in journalism, so I can write fiction and non. And then the creative writing is just more or less for structure.
Okay.
So just to make the books better. I mean, I have 7 published books already, so I just want to keep getting better at it. So now that I'm fully trained, it's like I don't want to write the book I'm working on because I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it.
I didn't want to write this one. Let's just throw this one away.
Well, it's for school. That's the problem. Like, you have to have a fully finished novel in your field, in your genre, to turn in at the end. And it has to be between 60 and 80,000 words. And the book I'm working on has the potential to be 120,000 words because it's a whole new world. And it's a lot different. So, just a lot of work, a lot of research.
80,000 words.
Well,
I don't even know where to begin.
Put your fingers on the keyboard.
The first one.
Yeah.
Keep going.
A big capital T for the.
It all began. There we go.
But I'm turning Atlantis into part of the afterlife. So it's a 4th realm. So there's heaven, hell, purgatory, and afterlantis.
Okay.
So, like I said, I'm building a whole new world out of this. My fellow students hate it. They don't critique my work. Because I'm published already. I know what I'm doing. I just want the damn degree that says I can.
That's right.
But I actually emailed my professor this morning. I'm like, am I just an ass? Like, because I critique these guys hard. Like, this sucks. You can't write that. No joke, son. I read this today. Not that I should be publicizing this on the audio, but one of my classmates actually wrote something about a 10-year-old sleepover and they were skinny dipping. I'm like, you can't do that. Like, the language you're using does not make any sense with this age group. Like, I screamed at her in all caps with exclamation points everywhere. Like, I'm a father of 2 daughters. I don't want to read this. You can't do this. What the hell is the matter with people?
be surprised.
So is this what you guys thought you were getting yourselves into?
Yeah, it's fun.
A lot different than the other ghost tours.
That's what I think in the rookie.
Yeah. So now you know how important they are. Wink, wink. Because everybody reads them first.
Yeah.
All right, we got one back.
No, it's only one bathroom for everybody. You gotta sit
Yeah, it's just one restaurant. I know, because this is my pit stop before I meet y'all. So there's touristy pics along the way. So like the custom house, got the market. You never know what work, we're going to just pop up out of nowhere. So when we get to my valley, I have you come up to the front so we can take pictures of it without anybody in it. It's normally empty. The other tourists don't go down there. So they don't have full stuff like we do. It's gonna be fun down here tomorrow.
Huh?
It's gonna be fun down here tomorrow.
What's going on tomorrow?
It's Halloween.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're staying up. Like I said, it's my wife's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tonight's our anniversary.
Oh. So my first marriage, November 1st, because it's winter solstice, and we also didn't take away from my daughter's birthday, which is on Halloween.
Yeah, that's
So
my wife.
my daughter, she'll be 20 this year.
Okay.
That's my oldest. And then my other one was almost a 4th of July kid, but I got the other one over here. So
Cool.
but yeah, lots of Halloween birthdays in that family. Oh, dressed up like a cowboy. I thought about dressing up for my tour. I'm like, I don't know.
She's gonna dress up tomorrow.
As
She'll
what?
dress up as a witch or something.
Nice.
We've done a bunch of the tours down there. We did the Bulldog one before. We've done a guy that used to work with the fire department with me. He does tours down here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was that one called?
I don't even remember the name of his company, but I know he would give us a break on the cost to guys at the fire department.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I just, because obviously I'm in the podcasting world too, and there's another guy down here. His name's Mike Brown. He runs a tour called Pleasing Terrors. He called me a few weeks ago because I did an investigation at the old dungeon, and he wanted to know if he could include me in my podcast and my tour on his episode. I'm like, yeah, dude. So we're going to be doing like a little bit of a swap. It's supposed to be out today, but it's not up yet. I don't know.
A guy named Kevin Kelly. He's packed on a few pounds since he left. He's gotten pretty big. All these guys that have left since I've been there, I was like, I've been there longer than all of them, or even that have already retired.
Yeah.
It's been 36 years this year.
If I can do it, man. I did 21 years retail management and walked away, making 6 figures to do this.
Yeah,
It's kind of a
pretty hard to walk.
Yeah, it was. But
Was it
happiness
here?
trumps
Or
money.
Charleston?
Yeah. Happiness trumps money every time.
I mean, if you're miserable, yes.
Yeah. Well, Walmart for over 10 years. So, managing 350 people. Yeah. It's miserable. Absolutely miserable.
And fire department's pretty fun. I mean, you like going into fires. It's fun. Says, but every job has a suck part.
Yeah. Even this one, believe it or not.
Well, you gotta put up with people sometimes.
Depends on the group. Depends on the group. Tomorrow night, I don't know what these groups are going to be like. I think I got some kids, which is good.
Yeah.
It usually keeps everybody behaving when I see kids involved.
Trying to get too.
I've ended tours just because
We're done.
Yeah. I take this serious. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not just telling stories on the corner. All right. Got everybody back? Sorry about the long wait in there. Let's see how we're doing on time.
Sorry about the.
No, you're fine.
Wait.
I just want to make sure we're running a little bit behind, so we're going to we're going to be brief through Lodge Alley. So kind of give you the gist here. We're listening for names because I have the full list of residents of every person that ever used to live there. So we're going to not stop. We're just going to kind of cut through it, and then I'll kind of give you a little bit more when we get over to Philadelphia Alley. The Philadelphia Alley is a little bit longer of a story. We do have leeway time, but I need time to re-sanitize all the devices, so as long as we're done by 8:50, I'm good. And then I stop at the market, re-sanitize, meet my next group, so I'm fine. But don't worry.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're fine. Did you buy us all candy?
And you're in trouble.
I see.
This is where I should see people walking by us.
Extra body.
Huh?
Extra body.
Yeah. Should you join?
I think I'm like the only one with assessment. I think you can actually only get Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah, it's good.
It's just really close.
I like close engine. So.
Really? There was this one guy who was literally staring at a problem and now it's his phone. One guy's been staring at a and I'm like, oh, yeah, I solved it. And he was like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I was like, if I was the fourth here, I would put it higher than all of y'all paid. Yeah.
Yep. Should be walking the wrong way? Yeah. Club and grub. Good. Maybe we'll get lucky and you'll have somebody dark shadow walking by you.
As long as I don't talk to them.
Huh?
As long as they don't talk to me.
I can't.
I said as long as they don't talk to me, but I
Oh,
need
hell.
them to talk to
Let
me.
them come talk to you. No.
So you got lucky you hit all green lights.
That's the one I had the card to somewhere. That's the one I had the card to somewhere. I don't even know where it's at. The high cut?
The lady's like, why
Wanted,
why am I watching better?
huh? You know what I'm talking about. Somewhere I got a $100 gift card here or somewhere. I never could find it, did we?
I don't know, I have to look it down.
I mean, did I cut? Could be 2 bills. Should we go kick a chicken tomorrow for lunch? It's on King. So I know where it's at. I just don't know if they're. I like just dine inside. I thought you said you looked it up and said you were. Or no, that was what we just said you did. No, jelly.
Should I wait for them to get out of the alley?
Fine, you can't identify them, no problem. They're not suing me anytime soon.
Look, the back of my head.
Brian.
Chuck.
Chuck.
I got Brian and Chuck.
They can listen to the Transformers.
That's the whole point. I usually tell, especially if they go to kids, it's Bumblebee from Transformers.
That's what. That's some hot trash. See how red it was? It was like glowing. Doing some composting in there. He's gonna get seasick watching this footage. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I can walk on this side. Yeah.
We did hear the name Chuck for sure, so I'm sure there was a Charles in there somewhere. There wasn't many residents that lived down there. There's two buildings on the side, we're never there. It's also where the Masons used to be, so it's always interesting. So at least we'll have the recording from the film and the spirit box to kind of release. So yeah, break through it. But I usually just get named. I don't get a whole lot there because they're residual ghosts. So what I mean by that is that it's usually the same type of thing all the time. As you get the words like kids or children or something along those lines, and then I get the name Benjamin and John there all the time. They both lived there in 1801. There were 2 out of the 4 residents. So it's not coincidence that the 2 names show up together. Benjamin is a lot to come up with. I didn't come up with anything on my end. We're about to walk through Philadelphia Alley, but it was once known as Dueler's Alley for you tourists that don't know that already. So every ghost tour tells this story. I'm going to give you the skinny in like 4 minutes. They're going to make it a big dramatic thing. I don't do that. You guys just need enough for your devices. So, Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd moved down here from Rhode Island because he was supposed to get married. Does that make any sense? No. But I want you to keep the initials RI from Rhode Island because that comes up again later and can come up on our spirit boxes. So, he was supposed to get married to Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. The attorney handling that money said, "You're not getting married. Send the doctor away. I think he's just after your money." So the doctor moves to Charleston. The coachman that brought him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. Not a very good start. Somebody walking by, named Ralph Isaacs, initials R.I., says, "You don't want to stay here, let me take you somewhere else." He takes him over to 59 Church Street, which is on the same block of where the big steeple is that you guys see. And he finds a room upstairs, so he rents from 2 ladies downstairs. She bought cookies. Continuing on. Cookie extraction. No. I'm getting my blood tested for diabetes. I'm trying to be super careful about every little thing. My Pepsi habit has to go away, unfortunately. But anyway. Like, cookies, really?
This is a prelude.
If it's Oreos, she'd be attacked. I'm serious. I'm sorry. Oreos, I would be all over her.
There's them white fudge covered. Never mind, you guys are getting off track. So, where was I? So the doctor and Ralph become friends. And they used to go see plays together, but the doctor's practice is taking off. So he's in a different part of society. He's making lots of money. And Amanda's going to be moving down soon. They call him the whistling doctor because he's happy all the time. So he's pretty happy about Amanda coming down. You can Google the whistling doctor if you want to. You're going to get a very long version of this story. I'm giving you the skinny details. So anyway, they go see plays together, but they have to sit in different seats because they're in different parts of society. But they talk about these plays on the way home. They're talking about Richard III one night. I don't know which theater. These guys will tell you Dock Street. I don't think it was Dock Street. There was like 10 other theaters here at the time. But anyway, they're talking about the play on the way home. The doctor loves the new actors. Ralph doesn't. They turn into an argument. Then it turns into an insult party on the doctor's fiancée back home. They obviously get pretty pissed off at each other. They go their separate ways. Now Ralph, he's from here, so he has ties to the newspaper. He calls the newspaper up. He puts a big ad in the paper about what a disgrace the doctor is to the city of Charleston. He's not from here. He takes all of our money. He's too expensive. Yada yada yada. The doctor rebuttals with, "Let's go to Dueler's Alley and settle this." And normally, us as 2020 Americans, when you think of a duel, what normally happens? One of them dies. Yeah. That's our perception, but it's wrong. So normally a duel was an act of bravery. Most of the time, bullets were shot either in the air or into the ground. It was more about you can take a bullet for the argument that you're willing to go down and fight for. Again, most of your arguments were...
Sometimes there's an opportunity to take somebody out.
Right. But sometimes there were shots fired into a body. That person died. That hole in the wall over there, the doorway, is actually where the dead people would go. They would pick them up, carry them through the courtyard, over to St. Philip's, drop the body, go celebrate the winner with a pint. It's kind of how things went when somebody died. Here's what happened with the doctor and Ralph. They come down, they take their 20 paces, follow all the stupid rules. Doctor points his gun in the air and he shoots. Act of bravery. However, Ralph took a shot below the knee on the doctor. The doctor drops. So instead of carrying him through the courtyard, they carry him home to 59 Church Street. It's about a mile and a half from here. He died 10 days later. What's the moral? Don't get engaged to Amanda. You'll die. No kidding. They say as you walk through here, you can hear the whistles. We're in Charleston. We have hecklers. You're going to get a lot of hecklers. There's your fake one for the audio. When you're listening to this on your drive home, turn the audio up here. I'm going to stay away from the spirit boxes. We're also going to keep them down when we're cutting through other tours. As much as they don't like me, I don't want to piss them off any further.
Okay.
So, other weird tidbits about this place other than the gate. They also say, by the way, you can hear gunshots, but I haven't caught gunshots yet on audio. The bricks we're going to walk on get older as we go through them. Okay, these up here, refreshed and renewed in the 1990s. Smooth, sharp edges, they look great. We get down to the edge, those are sun-dried bricks from slave kids. They turn those bricks every hour to dry them. We have their fingerprints, we have one full handprint at the end. I'll point it out, it is outside somebody's residence. He's probably moving because I stop there every night. His house is for sale. I don't even want to know what the price tag is. But anyway, that handprint, when we look at it, the thumbprint overlaps into the next brick. So if you think about it, that kid put that brick in wet and then slammed his hand into it, kind of a screw you, I don't want to do this anymore. So it's an interesting thought process when you think of it that way. And it is very prominent. Like, there's no mistaking that it's a handprint. So again, I will point it out with my toe and exit left out of the alley. So again, we're by somebody's house, we'll be quick, no spirit boxes, no lasers, by the houses. And of course, when we're cutting through other tours, don't make me any more enemies. We're always the most annoying group out here on the streets, but when we're cutting through somebody else's tour, it's like, all right, cool. That's why I tell the story out here, so we don't get interrupted. So hopefully the gate is creaking for you tonight, so I can at least give you one creepy sound effect on your audio. It wasn't last night because it rained all day, and we didn't have it. It actually opened. We got a little freedom. We'll take it. It's almost Halloween. We gotta have something on there.
Sure.
I'll just stand a little bit from her.
Make a left.
He's gonna be seasick watching this footage. You walking along.
Surprised.
There.
And I put it on my TV. Me and my daughter will watch it on the phone.
Let's take a picture where the shot went. Nah, I didn't walk all the way over
I'll look at
there. Let that AC unit don't fall out of that thing. Jeez, Lord. One above your head.
He ends up sending a letter to the local newspaper where he will say that Joseph Lloyd Brown was not a qualified surgeon. Not a qualified physician. And no proof.
The sides, they look like cobble. The sides are cobble. Just put a handprint on it? Where?
I think.
I
Come
can't
back
tell.
in the day.
Anybody get shot out here?
Yeah. Can ask yes or no. Any names of people that were shot and killed out here? What did they use to duel in this alley?
I don't know what that was. Somebody get clipped by a car. Somebody said, say what?
Any names of people floating around here?
Mm-hmm.
You're okay. Alright, so guys, we're going to take a look at this brick building behind you. That's the Wagner building. It used to be a cotton warehouse. And the last person who had it as a cotton warehouse was George Fourier. Yeah. Sorry, I did a quick face down. So George inherited the business from his dad. No clue what he was doing. Silver spoon fed. Didn't know how to run a business. Got himself into debt pretty quickly, and then he blew through his inheritance. Then we got the boll weevil in town. The boll weevil is a bug that eats cotton, so now his crops are plump. He can't even sell his crops back to the Americans to get out of debt. What's he do? He sells them to the British. So they unload all the cotton from his back garage doors that you guys see. That's pretty crazy. You don't get a whole lot of activity over there. Not human activity.
Looks like somebody's getting towed.
Yeah, could be.
Somebody might be parked where they're not supposed to be.
Yeah, probably.
A lot of people, though.
So George, they unload it, they put it out on the ship. He's watching everything because the commands are much scarier. He can see the ship. Once it's all loaded, somebody gets too close to it with a pipe. The whole ship catches fire. Everybody can watch the whole thing. The second story, the online story, that say the third story, piles up all the furniture, puts a couch chair on top, finds it, cleans it, hangs it. The newspaper came the next morning. They actually caught the body. Picks up kids, went back to the press room to go tell them what was going on. They say you can see the shadows of the corpse along the window. Now, our camera cannot see through glass. As I'm sure Doug will already tell us. It's fooling me on that thing the whole thing. The whole time. So, what are we looking for? We're looking for one of those blue panes of window that actually go darker. Once something is seeing a pane of glass on the inside. Okay, guys. So, when we get up to the front, obviously we want nice slow sweeps on your end, and then some pictures, Melissa, that's the story right now. And then, I want to also tell you, I think this guy is not going to have
got to get out of the way. Yep.
I think that guy called me.
You know where you're at, right?
Huh?
Yeah, we're down here.
East Bay Trading. Used to be.
Right. No name was that, man.
No, no name was up there.
Right.
This was East Bay Trading Company. And I can't remember what it was after that. Now I don't know what it's going to be. It used to be a bar a long time ago. Club.
So, we definitely want a nice little sweep of that second story window from here. Alyssa, let's get some pictures.
Thought it was down that way.
Where's the thermal imaging? Where's one, right? I got it. So, at times, do you see the stone at the top? Very top, like where the white stone is?
Third story, yeah.
So, all the way up to the very top. What's the temperature of that stone? Okay, and go down to the half moon stone, same type.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I would expect anywhere between 17 to 22 degrees with the breeze we have tonight, but not 30. Yes, and I do this test every night. So sometimes I can guess based on the breeze. Like tonight I was guessing it was going to be like 20 to 22 degrees difference, not a 30. So I'll do it again later, you can see what pops up, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a pretty great.
Check that out. That's a very good one.
What the fuck? I mean, what the hell? Take the walk and lead the walk.
Bro, Robin mad.
Huh?
Robin trying to put that ticket in my hand.
Hey!
What's it, nigga? Go to
was the second one, the third one.
Me, you, Kyle, and Kyle.
He said, hey, Kyle.
We're not all that, but we're what, 2-3 blocks away from Warren Province now? There's so much left. If I could keep going, it would. But again, there's a million spots down here. A million of them. Alright, did you get us a good second for it?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to take that from you. Are we recording? Oh, I trust you. That's why I handed it to you, so I don't have to splice a million videos together.